Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw Tips and Tricks, and this is part two of just playing around with this design that looks pretty cool. I did one earlier today. If you didn't watch it, you're going to need to watch it because I'm going to skip over some parts. And here's another thing I kind of did with it. I just kept making it expand out. So if you watch number one or part one, it really wasn't part one. It was just the original. We got to this point, and I took this and I combined it. And then if you left click, right click, you can see the lines of the purpose of the spiral type deal, and just go through here with your virtual segment delete key and delete these lines, because we're going to play with the interior part of this. Then I would get the 3-point curve line and go from that node to that node, and then just make you a, whatever you decide looks good to you. You could actually put it way up here and then grab the shape tool and grab this node and then bring this down a little bit, kind of even it out. And then I'm going to fill these in individually, but they're really separate. And now I don't really have to move them. Sometimes it might be better to move them, but if you select that top one and go to your interactive fill tool, and on this we're going to go from top to bottom, and you can see what it's done, and we'll actually bring this down a little bit more, and then you could play with your shadowing, and you could actually go further up, maybe even over to here. And this is what's kind of neat, is just playing around with it to see what you get. And this would be a good idea maybe to make 2 copies. And then select the interior one, go to your interactive fill tool, and we went from the top down, so now we're going to go from the bottom up. So I'm doing a completely different, and you would probably want to move this center to this edge. Well, I messed it up. Let me hit the escape button. There we go. Well, what's happening? Okay, I hit the enter button and it changed it. So now I'm just kind of going to play with the slide bar, and I'm doing just the opposite. I'm putting darker down here and lighter up there. I don't really like it yet, but it might look pretty cool. And then we could change this down here, move our slide bar. I'm trying to get a different look completely. And I really was going to do this with color. So let's bring in some color just for people that can print. And then you could actually change some things, and then we'll get back to this one and add the opposite colors. And you could use any color you wanted in multiple colors. And you kind of notice that when I did that, that doesn't look bad. Then I'm sliding it up and down, and I'm trying to get it just to kind of maybe in the middle would be the best. And I'm even going to, let's see what happens if you used a blue. For a printer, maybe this will look cool. Let's leave it just like that. See what we get. Now, you don't have to group it together or anything, just nudge it back over to the center of the page, because that's where I have my indexing lines. And this time we are going to use transformation again. So I've got that selected. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to move the rotation to the center. It doesn't look like it is, but and really I'll probably have to group these together to do this. And then grab the center rotation and put it to the center. And we are. Now go to Windows, Dockers, Transform, or Transformation. We're going to do that 10 degrees, 35 times. Now, I'm not in love with that, but that is a unique pattern that would be pretty unique to do anything with. And that's what I was saying. If you would have made a copy of this, you could play around with it more and, done a lot with it. And you could even go sideways, and I don't really like that, but let me go back to the original red and move this. Let's move them back kind of up You want them kind of where they're like that. And now let's see what this looks like. So just hit your pick tool, and then we can group these together again, nudge them over, hit your center rotation to the center, make sure it is, and just hit apply. Now, when we take away the lines, it might even look better. Or you could even add thicker lines. Let's trying to grab it all. And I'm gonna right click, no outline. But let's do an outline and see what that looks like. Pretty cool, just experimenting. It looks like, kind of looks like a twisted rope, but without an end. And you could change that color, that outline, to whatever color you wanted. I made it a blue now, so it's probably gonna kind of look greenish. And let's make it a little bit thicker. That's still a hairline. Let's make it 1 point. Let's make it 2 points, 3 points. 2 points would probably be best. 1.5 and call it good. That's a pretty unique look. Just hope you understand I'm just playing. And then I was going to show you real quickly how you could Control G and group that together, and then Control D, holding down your shift key so it would grow from the inside out and get where you just got a color. And then I'm actually a little bit too far, so I'm going to go back in. I should have zoomed in before I started this. And then just Control D again. And you can actually take each individual one and mirror them. So the patterns are, well, it's going to be hard. You almost would have to do that at the same time that you're, because it's going to be real hard with. Now, one thing you could do, and I like doing this, is 27 inches. Change your nudge factor to 28 and nudge that one out of the way. Boy, I just hit 28, nudge that out of the way. And then change this one and move it out of the way the other way, and then change this one and then move it out of the way, and then take this one and mirror it the other way and move it out of the way. And that's really all you got, and then just nudge them back. I'm not looking at my keyboard, I'm looking at my screen, as you can tell. But then you've got these patterns going the opposite direction. I don't know. I hope that helped a little bit.